What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back on a Saturday morning for a lot of people. Quickly, this one is pre-recorded Friday because I was out Friday and we'll be back this evening for a pre-live show, so we'll be back live. So if transfer news will happen, there will be a transfer news video out. No worries about that. However, we are going to talk about Allegri really thinking about changing the formation now. And that's going off his presser and why potentially I don't think he, or like potentially he doesn't really have a choice at this point, maybe. That's what we're going to talk about in this one. Before we do that, like I'm always going to do or try to do this season, a goal for likes for this video. Let's hit 75 likes for this video. That will be a very good one. Help the channel out. Before we get into it, again, like and let's click the intro. So, a change in formation. We discussed this after the Frosinone game, potentially. Maybe, no, not after. Like, we discussed this all year, you know. But maybe there was not really one good reason to actually push the topic of we need to change formation because we don't have the fullbacks, all those things. But now it's becoming more of not a must, but like something you cannot really hide from anymore. Like that's I think a fair thing to say because the questions Allegri is being asked in the presser as well are quite telling. Like they are, they're becoming consistent in a way of, do you need to change something? And after the game, he was asked about it. Can you see the three up front? And he said like it depends. We will see. It's something I'm considering. Then he was asked about Wea again, and after a Wea question, he responded by saying, the three up front, it will depend on the development mentally from Yildiz and players like Wea. If they improve, we can play a different type of football. So he kind of admitted that this is by default the way we're playing now, or default, like this is by design, which obviously, but it kind of told me that, you know what, he's also thinking like, I don't really want to play like this and I can play in a different way, which we've all been saying. It's just that he's very hesitant to pull the trigger, and I get why, because you're second in the league, you're picking up the points. It's very tough to now tell the boys, you know what, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna switch, and we're gonna switch big time. It's not. I'm gonna play the same formation, but Gatti Rugani's gonna take your place, or Danilo Rugani's gonna take your place, and we're gonna move on like this. This is a big change. If you put Yildiz in there, that means you're gonna play him and probably Chiesa underneath Vlahovic. That means somebody is gonna be dropped in that midfield, and it's gonna be a wing back, and that means defensively everything changed. That means one of those two or both of them need to do some serious grinding. The midfield needs to do some hard working, and your fullbacks need to be solid. So that's why I was hinting towards, let's see how Wea will develop, fitness wise, but also especially defensively. Cambiasso, he has improved defensively a lot, and I'm very surprised by that because it was in a short time and I was a bit worried, but he has improved that big time. So I think Allegri is convinced about that fact that Cambiasso can take, on that way of playing. Excuse me. It's about Weah's fitness. Now you can flip it and you can say maybe it's a 3-4-2-1, and you play Gatti, Bremer, and Rugani and Danilo, and you play McKennie on the right hand side in that midfield four, and you keep Rabiot there. Then you need to make a lot of decisions. What about Cambiasso? He's playing well. Is he going to drop Rabiot, or is Rabiot going to play Locatelli in a 2? There are a lot of question marks. And that's why I'm saying it's not easy, but I think he kind of admitted that he's thinking, like he's considering, and why wouldn't he consider? Because this is not, how do you want to say that? This is not a stupid reason to potentially change a formation, because the damage you can do with those three up front potentially is significant. Like it is. Like offensively, it will also need time to gel, obviously, but the potential is much bigger than what it is now. It is. But he's gonna need to make big decisions because he's gonna need to drop Kostic, probably, you know, most likely, I guess. Maybe out of possession, he will switch to a normal formation. I don't know. So it's also not easy because there are so many options out there. I think with different players, you need to find the right balance. You need to find the right click, and to do that mid-season, I think it's a big ask, especially if you're still up there with only 2 points and you play Inter the 1st of February, or like not the first game of February. I think it's the 3rd or the 4th of February that we play Inter. And you need to win the next 4 games in the league with Salernitana, Empoli. I blanked it out. Sassuolo and somebody else. I blanked. Was it Verona? I'm not sure, but it's tough to now say we're gonna mix it up ahead of that Inter game. It's a big dilemma. It is a big dilemma for Allegri because I'm fully aware of that. Although I will be all up for it, it's a big change compared to what we're doing now. So I'm aware of that. It's not something you do overnight. It's something you need to take some risks. The players need to be extremely open to it as well, and also they need to kind of be error free out there. They do because only 2 points. There's not a there's not a lot of room to make mistakes at this moment in time. There isn't. So it is a big ask. It really is. But the doubts in Allegri's head are creeping in at this point, and I think we will see some few exotic things. I will say that, but I don't think we're gonna see them from minute one. I think he will try to change a few things mid-game, depending on results, depending on what we need, chasing a game, whatever, controlling a game. It will be that case because McKennie was coming up to the point where Yildiz got that own goal, and then McKennie sat down and Nonge came in. Or was it when Rugani? I think it was Yildiz, to be honest. Got that own goal. So a lot of things need to fall in the right place when you need to make the formation. But like it's again, I will repeat myself for probably the 100th time in the last 2-3 weeks. How are you gonna tell Yildiz you're only gonna get 50 minutes here and there? It's a tough, and I know we started last week, and Chiesa will probably be in the lineup again on Sunday. It's very tough to now tell that kid, and the kid deserves to play because he should be playing. Why? Because he's gonna learn by making mistakes, by having games where things are not going well, and he's not scoring goals or he's not being effective. He needs that. I'm not wishing that upon him, but it's just gonna happen. It's natural, and he needs that to learn. And it's better to learn that ASAP. So going into the next season, you can really build on something, and he knows, okay, there are certain things I need to do better in my game. There are certain moments I need to control better. There are certain decisions I need to make in certain moments, and that's only something he's gonna learn by play as much as he can. So that's why I think even Allegri at this point is like, if I'm going into the next season and I'm gonna make some changes, I need to see how these players hold up to it. I really need to, like, preseason, fine, but like this is pressure, and it is also a good moment to test it out. Will it happen? Like I said, I don't think so. I think mid games he will try to tweak a few stuff. We play Frosinone next week on Thursday again in the Coppa at home for the plays in the semi. I think it is against Lazio or Roma. So maybe there we will see a few changes. Obviously, they're a better team than Salernitana, and they will play for. They will come with their first team. They will. But maybe there is an opportunity to again change a few things, try a few things out. But as of now, it's a serious start for me, or I think it's a serious start also for Allegri. So that's my daily. Like I said, goal 75 likes. Do it. I will be back live for a preview today, and I will see you guys. Ciao.